I am intervention.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Just Warmick, aka Mr. Intervention, back again, and now the sophomore season of Joseph Burns after a very difficult starting year of his career. The rookie season ended LSU with a very disappointing set of losses. Joseph Burns back to try and see if things can improve in this season, as we will check out his stats for his first year, as he had 48 receptions, 1,251 receiving yards with an average of 26 yards a catch, 12 touchdowns, and his longest being the 80-yarder that he had, averaging just under 100 yards a game. So Joseph Burns, even though he had 4 drops, he was pretty good. So the Minneapolis native hoping that year number 2 is going to be much better. LSU's first game in the Joseph Burns sophomore season is going to be up against the North Texas Mean Green. What LSU is going to be trying to do in this season is going to be trying to put together something that's going to be much better than the previous season, as they finished with 6 losses over the entirety of the last season. This time, they look to see if they can put together a more powerful union to be able to be one of the top teams in the league, but that's something we'll just have to see, as Joseph Burns is pumped up for another year. Starting off in this game, he finds out that he's got the speed to be able to get to the end zone and get where he needs to. He finds the back of the end zone, as you can see here, dragging his foot as he makes the catch and planting the toe. So the first catch of the new year is a touchdown, as he takes this one over the middle and is tackled by the linebacker for a few yards there, making it 2nd and 6. So LSU up 7-0 here. Burns able to catch a corner route and just burns past everybody. That's going to be LSU's 2nd touchdown, the 2nd one for Burns. As you see, as soon as he hit that corner route, he knew he was gone. New quarterback Johnson definitely happy to have Burns on his squad, as Burns is trying to be one of the best receivers in the league. Burns with a little sweep there as he tried to catch one, and then Burns will find the middle of the field, and he'll get his 3rd touchdown up against the Mean Green. And he has got all of LSU's points so far. 21-0 here in the 2nd quarter, and an ill-advised pass goes behind Burns and is going to be intercepted. Mean Green will take over. And so far, Joseph Burns with 4 catches, over 160 yards, and 3 touchdowns already in the first half, as Burns looks to try and find one over the middle, and he's overthrown by Johnson. But Johnson couldn't find him there. However, on the next play, Burns able to get past his man, and he's going to catch that one over the shoulder. That's going to be a great catch here for a 1st down. Burns with 5 catches and 196 yards for 3 touchdowns. Now looking to see if he can break his man, and he's going to get an attempt, but that one knocked down by the safety, incomplete. Burns looking to see if he can jar it past his guy one more time. That one overthrown. Johnson just missed it. Then Burns able to catch that one over the middle, and that should be enough to give him 200 yards on the day, and it is 202 yards, as Burns finds one of his fellow receivers unable to hang on to the football, and Burns able to get a tackle on the stat line. Burns then tries to get open on another deep route, and that one's overthrown. Johnson just could not fight it. Late in the third quarter, Joseph Burns again trying to break past. He makes a huge catch over the shoulder, and that's going to be yet another touchdown for Joseph Burns, as LSU will easily win this football game. Final score being 49-7, as Joseph Burns ends the day 7 receptions, 266 yards, 4 touchdowns, and even a tackle, as LSU starts the year off right with their first victory. And with that game under wraps, trying to build up Joseph Burns, give him some things like acceleration, route running, and give him just the ability to be the better receiver. Washington Huskies, the next opponent for LSU, as Burns tries to brute force his way past the corner and is able to get a good catch there. Later in the game, tied up at 6, as Burns catches a low pass there at the knees and is able to reel that one in for his second catch of the day, as the Huskies fall to a touchdown in that drive. Burns able to catch a screen pass there, but it's no good. Huskies all over that one. So his third pass goes nowhere. Then Burns finds an opening on the left-hand side and stiff arms the guy like it's nobody's business. Burns in try to go for the corner of the end zone, and he's well covered, so that's not going to work out. Burns in coming over the middle there. He's going to find some impact that time. His fifth catch, now 78 yards, and he had to one-hand it just to make sure. Joseph Burns, seeing his team leading 21-14, he's going to force his way on a 3rd and 14 to go to the first down marker, and that continues the drive. And then Burns finds the corner of the end zone, just not really wanting to run the route. He just decides that, hey, I'm going to make this score happen. So against the Huskies, 7 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown, and that's how that one's going to end. LSU on top, so their second win in a row. It's 38-14, the final score here. As we go to practice for just a moment, as Joseph Burns showing out here by a little bit of wherewithal, knowing where the football is and making a great catch there. As so far in his career, he's racked up 1,629 yards, 378 yards in this stanza, as his stats are looking much better. And Joseph Burns starting to get a little bit of that speed that we're looking for. Just it's been hard to come by, but some single game boosts, hopefully, to be able to make him better in this one. As we look at the top receiving threats, Fontenot is up there at the top with Burns third in yards, as the Idaho Vandals, the next opponent for Burns, as Burns tries to run the streak route there, but Johnson throws an interception, and it is going to be to the house. Idaho's going to score first in this one with a pick 6. So Joseph Burns seeing his team down early. So the Vandals leading this one early 7-0, as there's another inadvertent pass, as that one's going to go straight over the middle, and the Vandals get another interception. Burns trying to see if he can run a corner route, and that one just a bit out of reach, and that'll make it 4th down. Burns able to break through the defense that time, and he turns on the Jets, and Joseph Burns will find nothing but pay dirt, as that will tie the football game up 7-all. So tied at 7, in the second quarter as the half starting to wind down. Joseph Burns trying to get that one, but that just a little out of reach and out of bounds as Burns fights his way over the middle and finds a fellow Tiger with a huge catch, and LSU will take the lead 14-7 after that big one. Late in the half, Burns looking to try to get something over the middle. He will get it, and that'll continue the drive, but it goes nowhere. 14-all in this one as Burns finds the open field, catches it in stride, and that will give LSU the lead 21-14 as Burns just speeds past the defense. Now LSU looking to try and implement Joseph Burns in the run game, and he's going to be able to get a handful there. And one of Burns' favorite routes, the fake stop route, as Burns catches that one over the shoulder and finds nothing but the yellow end zone. That is going to be a touchdown. I say yellow, it's probably gold. 28-14 the score. Burns able to get past the corner. He's going to catch that one in stride, and nobody's going to be able to catch him as Joseph Burns weaves his way around to kill some clock. That makes it 35-14 as LSU is going to come out on top in this one. The Vandals just could not come back. 42-28 the final score for LSU as Burns has 4 catches, 280 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So we take a look at the SEC for a moment as Auburn, Alabama, Arkansas, LSU, and Ole Miss are all undefeated at this point at 2-0 and 3-0. It has been a very bruising start. The LSU team also doing very well as Joseph Burns hits the Heisman watch as he's now ranked 3rd at the moment behind Byers and Higgins, with Wood and Brock there as well. A receiver between quarterbacks and a halfback. Definitely interesting to see how this is going to turn out as Burns is, for the first time in his collegiate career, looking at a potential Heisman, as you also see here, 4 catches, 280 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Good for a week 4 nod, as Joseph Burns now leads the league with the most yards, 658 on the year, a total career so far of 1,909, as he's got 9 receiving touchdowns on the year, and his stats are looking much better. A big game, single game boost will give Joseph Burns quite a bit more speed, and if he can get the speed that he needs, he's going to turn into a big threat, as the next opponent is going to be the Auburn Tigers, a rivalry game here, as this will be a tough one as the Warhawk flies over the field. This is going to be a huge matchup. It's a Tiger on Tiger affair. So we'll see how well this goes. Can Joseph Burns lead his team downfield for a big win? We'll definitely have to find out. And now with Auburn taking the field, LSU knows that this is going to be a big fight. A rivalry game like none other. The biggest fight between 2 sets of Tigers is to be underway shortly. Joseph Burns knows he's going to have to try and make some big plays if he's going to help his team rise over their rivals. And Joseph Burns starting off as 4th down. Burns knows he's got to try and do something to get the first down. He doesn't do it, but a fellow Tiger does. Burns, however, going for the corner, able to find his way into open field, and then disaster strikes as Burns fumbles the football. Auburn takes over. Now Auburn able to take the lead and expand it 14-3 as Burns breaks the tackle, able to get past the first down. And Joseph Burns able to catch a short pass there over the middle, able to get a few yards. LSU down 14-3 as the first half comes to a close. Joseph Burns able to find the open field, but he sees a fellow Tiger get a touchdown, and that brings LSU even closer. Now down 14-10. Burns looks to find the open field, gets the football, and is going to start streaking down the left-hand side of the field and into the end zone. That's going to be a huge score as LSU takes the lead. Sadly, though, Auburn able to come back and they get the lead 21-17, and Burns unable to hang on to the football and makes it fourth down. Auburn able to go downfield, gets another score, so they lead now by 11 as Joseph Burns gets into the open field yet again, catches that one, and is able to streak to the end zone for a score. However, it is not enough as the Auburn Tigers are going to finish out the LSU Tigers. They will win it 34-23 as Drew Allen had a big day with 3 touchdowns on the ground, 41 carries. You see here Joseph Burns getting some upgrades as he is trying to be the man he needs to be for this LSU team, hoping that he could lead them against another tough opponent, and hopefully they can come out with a win. Burns 841 yards on the season so far. He's got 11 touchdowns, so looking to break past his rookie season as his stats are getting up there pretty well. We're still looking to try and get the speed though, but we got a lot of stats where catching is involved, and Burns hopefully can make something happen. Here's the LSU Tigers will take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Hopefully they can beat them and shake off their huge loss from last year. So Joseph Burns will be looking to try and enact a little bit of revenge against these Wildcats as LSU looks to try and make a stronger stand against their blue opponents here in the SEC. So a big SEC matchup here as LSU and Kentucky started their years off strong. LSU hoping to make something happen as Joseph Burns hits the field. LSU already has a touchdown lead. Joseph Burns able to get the catch there over the middle, and they get the first down. LSU already ranked 22nd in the league, but after plays like that, Johnson may find his starting position in jeopardy as Joseph Burns sees Kentucky get a couple of scores there, and Johnson overthrows his target. Burns unable to get the catch there. UK gets another field goal and takes a small lead, and Joseph Burns finds a way around the right-hand side and is finally brought down after a huge gain. Late in the second quarter, Joseph Burns looking to try and get the end zone, and he's overthrown just a bit. LSU able to get points, and they're able to get the lead. Joseph Burns, a massive tackle there, but he's able to catch it over the middle. LSU takes a bigger lead, 17-9, and then Joseph Burns decides he's going to help his quarterback and gets in the red zone for a huge catch. But sadly, that one is going to be negated with a clipping penalty. But after that, LSU able to hold off Kentucky, and even without Burns, able to get the victory as LSU wins it 20-15 against the Wildcats. Able to do everything they possibly need is Frank Jones, the halfback, 28 carries, 125 yards, and a couple of touchdowns to help lead his team to victory. So this time, Joseph Burns relegated to a teammate and not a leader at this point, as the Tigers then have to face off against the very tough Florida Gators, as the Gators are always a massive problem especially for any of the SEC teams, as the Gators taking their home field here at the Swamp. It's going to be a huge, huge fight. So here at the Swamp, LSU watching their opponents take the field. If Joseph Burns can make some big plays here in this one, unlike the Kentucky game, then maybe they will have a chance. But we'll definitely have to see, as this is going to be a big fight. Starting off early in the game, Joseph Burns just streaks down the left-hand side, makes a big catch, and is brought down from behind as the corner just had to run over there and get him as quick as he could. So Burns doesn't have that breakaway speed quite yet. LSU does score and makes it 7-0 as Burns watches his partner ball with a catch, and that is going to be a score for the Tigers. Tigers now with 14 points. It's 14-0 over the Gators. Gators able to actually get a touchdown later in their drive, and Burns trying to put on a move, but he's going to watch another huge play there. That one, again, ball. That's going to be a score for LSU, and they're going to widen their lead back. 21-7 the score, as Burns over the middle, able to get that one within the 5-yard line, and LSU will score off of it 28-7. Burns will then catch a bit of a little screen there, and he's able to get that one. Now 28-14, LSU with the lead. Burns just streaks down the left-hand side, makes a huge catch, and take it out of bounds. Now with 123 yards on the day out of 4 catches. But Burns is looking for the end zone, and he gets past the corner that time, and he's able to catch that one. That is going to be a score for Joseph Burns, his first of the day. 5 catches, 143 yards, and the touchdown. Late in the fourth quarter, LSU leading at 35-21. Burns looking for another one here, and he's not going to get it. Good coverage by the corner. So LSU is going to come out victorious in this game. Joseph Burns able to contribute. LSU will win at 35-28 over the Gators. As you see, Burns now over 1,000 yards for the season, and he's trying his best in practice as well. And with that, now the South Carolina Gamecocks are going to be the opponent here for LSU, as the Gamecocks looking to see if they can do something. And some huge scoring here as the Gamecocks go all the way downfield, and then the LSU Tigers with a huge kick return for a touchdown. And then the Gamecocks again get another score, so early scoring makes this a 14-7 game before Burns even gets himself on the field. And then fake handoff there. Johnson takes that one up the middle. Now a tie ball game in the middle of the second quarter. Burns tries to put on the move and finds the football in the end zone. That's going to put LSU in the lead, as we will actually take a look at this catch. Just out of the reach of the cornerback, and Burns able to reel it in stride. So that makes it 20-14, as the Gamecocks now in a bit of trouble. That one's going to be one-handed over the middle, or at least he thought he was going to get it. That one dropped. Burns then goes over the middle, just basically tries to streak straight down the field. He'll break one tackle, but he's not going to break all of them, as that's a huge 20-plus yard reception. Burns then goes for the route over the middle, and he's going to catch that one in the red zone. The LSU calls timeout, looking to try and make this score happen. 1:52 left in the half. Burns trying to break his man. He's looking for the corner, and that one is going to be incomplete. So now, third quarter, LSU 23, Gamecocks 21, as Burns overthrown on the left-hand side. Johnson just couldn't get him. Now screen pass there. Burns takes off, trying to see if he can get some open field. Makes the catch Gamecocks up 27-23 as Burns looking again for another pass reception. That one knocked down, good coverage by the corner. Now Gamecocks up 34-23 as Burns is able to break past his man, gets that catch inside the 40. And now with 11 seconds left, Burns with 152 yards and a score. Now down to the last second. Here's Burns able to get past his man, and he's going to catch that one and get into the end zone. As that was a nice little last-ditch effort, but down by 2 scores. That's not going to be enough, as the team is definitely happy about Burns doing it, but they are going to fall to the Gamecocks. A big defeat there as the LSU Tigers lose this one, 34-29. The South Carolina Gamecocks able to get the win. Burns now with 1,192 yards on the season, and again he's trying to act up in practice. As you see him make this catch, keeping the 1 foot in bounds. Mississippi State Bulldogs are the next opponent that Burns and the Tigers will face as we get into the action. First quarter. Burns' first big opportunity to make something happen. He's going to run an in route there, and that's going to be a big catch, as Burns is not really a fan of the stop route. He then tries to make something happen here. Feels like he's open, and he's going to catch that one in the end zone. That is a huge touchdown for the Tigers as they take the lead. And Joseph Burns at the same time the most receiving touchdowns with 27. As you see, makes the catch and is able to keep his feet in bounds. LSU still up 7-0 here as the Bulldogs hoping to keep Burns contained. They contain him that time, but this time on the corner route, Burns able to get past his man, breaks one tackle and gets inside the 40 for a huge first down. Now with 1,285 yards and 15 touchdowns on the year with 40 receptions. Burns switches to an in route there, a bit of a slant as he catches that one now with 105 yards and a touchdown out of 4 catches. Burns laying up to a spot there as the first half winding down. Unable to get that one. That is well defended. LSU up 21-7 as the half comes down to a close, but that one an errant pass that just finds its way into a Bulldogs pair of hands, and that is going to be how the half ends with another Bulldog touchdown as Burns able to catch that one over the middle. Now 134 yards on 5 catches. 21-14 the score. LSU still leading this from Burns. Tries to go over the middle, and Johnson thought he could find him, but no, that found the linebacker as that is intercepted. Now a tie ball game in the third quarter. Burns streaking down the left-hand side. He's going to get that one, and nobody's going to catch him. Joseph Burns will help LSU get the lead yet again as he dives into the end zone. Now 27-21 as we spotlight him with 6 catches, 210 yards, and now 2 scores. Coach definitely happy about the performance for Burns this season as Burns will catch that one over the middle, highly contested. LSU with the lead, and they will not relinquish it as the Bulldogs fall to the Tigers. The final score 35-21 as Joseph Burns with a good day, 7 receptions, 212 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the win. As LSU has been continuing to win, Burns has been continuing to get the upgrades to make himself a better football player, a better receiver, and a better target. Joseph Burns, the only player over 1,000 receiving yards. He now has 1,404 as he finds himself at the bottom of the Heisman race. He is under Byers, Jackson, Harris, and Jones, as Jones right now has the top spot. The LSU Tigers then will face off against the Tulane Green Wave And Joseph Burns already sees his team up 7-0. Burns able to get open there over the middle, and that catch will be just shy of the end zone as he's got 16 touchdowns already. Joseph Burns sees his Tigers up 20-0 now as Burns gets a very late catch over there, more toward the right-hand side of the field. LSU just destroying the Tulane as they are up 23-0. Burns will catch that one in stride, finds a way to avoid the corner, and will score his first touchdown of the game as LSU goes up 29-0, now 30-0 as the half comes down to a close. Burns feels like he's open, but he's not. Johnson will go to the right-hand side and throw an interception, and that's how that half will end. Third quarter action as Burns looking to try and get open here on this one. Will he be able to get this one? He will. He'll catch it over his left-hand shoulder, and that's going to be another score for Joseph Burns, now 37-0 for LSU. 2nd and 7 here as Burns streaks down the left-hand side, and no one's going to catch him. Nobody in a green uniform anyway. That is going to be another touchdown. And Burns now with his quarterback getting 29 thrown touchdowns on the year, as that is going to be how LSU dominates this game. They win it 51-0 as they blank the green wave in a masterfest. 5 catches, 278 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Joseph Burns is how this will end. And that one is Burns now with 1,682 yards on the year. Now LSU having to face their biggest opponent of the year, the Alabama Crimson Tide. So LSU going to start off with a jet sweep. That goes to Burns, but Burns unable to find a hole, and he's going to be stopped there. So late in the first quarter, Burns gets past the corner. Nobody's watching him. And Joseph Burns is going to get an easy score to allow LSU to tie this football game up. Thing is, can they keep it, as Joseph Burns now has the most receiving yards in LSU history. Still a tie ball game here in the second quarter. Burns will catch that one on a slant over the middle, and that is going to be a first down now with the most receiving yards in history, over 3,011. As Burns will catch that one over the middle, and that's only going to help increase the number of yards he's got, as he's got 1,769 on the year, 52 receptions, 20 touchdowns. Bama takes the lead 14-7 as Burns watches as the halfback drops the football. That is going to be a fumble recovery for Bama. Bama only takes advantage and scores 21-7 as Burns gets past the corner yet again. That's going to be an easy catch and score as he tries to shorten that lead that Bama has at the moment. Bama up 24-14 here as the LSU is going to try the jet sweep again. This time Burns will get some positive yards, but not much. With Bama up, Burns feels like he's going to make something happen as he will get that catch, but he's tracked down by the safety, as he's now got 171 yards on the day with 5 catches and a couple of touchdowns. And then Burns here on second down looks for the end zone and is going to find it near the corner pylon on the near side, and that's going to be a touchdown for Joseph Burns as he gets 1 foot in for that one. But to be honest with you, I am not sure, as he had 1 foot down, tried to drag the toe, but that other foot was out of bounds. So I don't know if they got it or not. They said he got it, as Bama is going to get another interception late. Now 36-21. It looks like this game is well over. Burns will catch that one over the middle and take a nasty hit. Burns trying everything possibly can here. He's able to get past the corner. He'll get another catch, and here against Bama is going to have another 4-touchdown game as Joseph Burns able to get into the end zone there. 1:36 left in this game, and Joseph Burns able to get another catch there at the 15. Now has 317 yards on the day, and that is how it's going to end. Bama again takes down LSU. They win it 36-27 in this heartbreaker for the Tigers. Burns now 1,999 yards on the year. He moves up to the number one spot on the Heisman watch, passing Kemp and Jackson. But Joseph Burns definitely hoping that he can pull in the Heisman Trophy at some point in his career. Then the LSU Tigers having a rivalry game against the Ole Miss Rebels as the Tigers take the field, going with the gold helmets this time around. Burns able to get past the cornerback, and he's able to speed past the safety. Nobody can catch him. Joseph Burns will score the first touchdown of the game for his Tigers as they now go up 7-0. Now later in the game, 14-7 the score. LSU with the lead. Burns able to get in front of that one as the linebacker looked like he could have had a pick there, as John Garrison able to get something going there. LSU leading at 14-7 over Ole Miss as Burns tries to go over the middle. He gets that one and gets near to the first down marker as he's trying to continue this drive. As Joseph Burns has had reliable hands for the most part, but he has dropped a number of balls that he probably should have had. Burns looking to try and find something there, but Garrison going to the other side of the field, and that is going to be a pick. The Rebels will get the ball with 2 minutes left in the half. Nothing happens on their drive, and they had to punt it away as Joseph Burns will get another catch over the middle and tries to fight his way upfield. It's a huge gain there, and that puts him over 100 yards for the day with a score and 4 catches. Burns trying to put a little stop and go there on the go route, but unable to make that catch as the corner had him covered very well. Third quarter action now as Burns looking to try and get this one, but Garrison's going to throw a pick and a huge catch there. And you can definitely tell that these two teams do not like each other. Later in the game, 14-10 the score. Ole Miss only able to get a field goal, but guess what? Joseph Burns is not going to settle for a field goal. He wants the whole thing. It's a touchdown as Joseph Burns streaks down the line. And now a new NCAA record, 2,180 yards on the year so far. As Burns able to catch that one over the middle and just enough for the first down. Now with 191 yards on the day with 2 score. Joseph Burns there then trying to go over the middle there, and that's going to give him a few more yards. Now 2,200 yards on the year, 25 touchdowns so far in the year. But then Joseph Burns, using the left side of the field, goes down the sidelines, gets another catch and another touchdown. He'll just add that to his totals this year. Why not? As on the day, 8 catches, 261 yards, and now 3 touchdowns receiving for Burns. LSU starting to run away with the football game, up 28-10 as Burns catches another contested pass over the middle there on this one. And this is Joseph Burns' favorite little setup here, as he right there in the slot able to find the football there as they are able to bring him down. Now 325 yards on the day, and that is a new school record, breaking his old record. Burns able to catch that one over the middle, and look at the speed. Joseph Burns has gotten to be one of the fastest guys in college football as he takes that one to the house. That is probably one of my favorite ones of this year, as he just outran everybody. And LSU will easily dominate this football game as the LSU Tigers beat the Ole Miss Rebels 42-10 as Joseph Burns will end the day with a good stat line: 11 catches, 405 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Joseph Burns just showing that he can be one of the better ones in this league. College football is definitely looking really good with Joseph Burns now at 2,400 yards, as he has been setting records left, right, and center. 2,404 yards is a huge mark for anybody, as he has been trying everything he possibly can. We start to look through some of the records here to see what we got, and you see Burns has got a bunch of them. 27 touchdowns in a season, 3,655 yards for a career so far. 405 yards in a game is a huge mark as well, with 2,404 yards in the season, as Burns right now over Brock, the quarterback for Wisconsin, and then over Jackson, Georgia Tech's big back that they've got. Burns able to actually get the Week 13 offensive honors, and now LSU fighting against the Arkansas Razorbacks for the battle for the Golden Boot, as the Arkansas Razorbacks are a huge rival. Very, very close, as I used to live down there in Arkansas, grew up down there, and the Razorbacks were always my fans, but they were more of a basketball team, not so much a football team, even though in the 2000s they were very, very good. So Razorbacks looking and trying to see if they can put together a win this time. Last year they were unable to defeat the Tigers, as you see Joseph Burns starting things off. Arkansas already with the lead 7-0, but a good catch there as Joseph Burns finds that one now with 2,421 yards out of 70 catches. And Joseph Burns able to get past the corner there. He's going to find the football, but it's going to be out of his outstretched hands. Joseph Burns then sees his LSU Tigers falling off the map, as they're now down 17-0. Burns unable to stay in bounds for that one, as that is incomplete. First half starting to come to a close. Burns able to reach out and grab that one. First half does not go the way of the Tigers, as the Razorbacks have the lead 17-0 at the moment. And then things get out of hand. Arkansas up 24-7. That pass goes to the left-hand side, and Joseph Burns able to catch that one. And that is going to be a score for LSU, as that gets him his 28th touchdown on the year. Now Arkansas up 24-14. LSU was trying to fight back, as Burns able to one-hand this one and brings it in. 4:19 left on the clock. They're looking to try and score here. Burns then goes straight over the middle of a deeper street, and that's going to be a good post route over the middle, and LSU is going to be within striking distance with 4:05 left in the game. 2.5 minutes left in the game. LSU is in striking distance, and Burns catches it over the middle, but he can't cross the plane. That'll be his 7th catch, 101 yards, and LSU able to get close. Arkansas, though, with a 3-point lead, still 31-28, as this one's going to go deep, and that is going to be Ball. He's going to have that one, and that is going to be a touchdown. LSU takes the lead, and will they be able to keep it with 32 seconds left on the clock? Yes, they will. The LSU Tigers win their second straight matchup against Arkansas, as they win at 35-31. John Garrison, player of the game, as LSU wins the Golden Boot. And this time it's going to be LSU taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes. This is going to be the bowl game, as they are trying to win it all, going up into the Outback Bowl, hoping to get another bowl trophy. Joseph Burns looking to see if he can get bowl game win number 2 under his belt. The Iowa team is going to be a tough one, though, as they are with only 2 losses on the season. So LSU already down 3-0 to Iowa, as Iowa able to get a field goal. Burns goes over the middle. He's looking for the football, but it's well defended. So nothing doing there. 3rd and 10 here in this situation. Burns looking to try and see if he can get it. He goes up and tries to bring it down, but that is incomplete. In and out of hands thanks to the impact. Iowa able to get a touchdown, so they're now up 10-0, but Joseph Burns has some other ideas. He wants to bring LSU back, and that is going to be a touchdown. LSU finally on board now, 10-7. The Outback Bowl, quite the matchup here is LSU looking, trying to see if they can feed Burns a little more. He gets that one over the middle, and that's going to be a first down. Now with 2,500 yards on the year and 30 touchdowns. Now the Tigers looking at 3rd and 4 with 2:40 left in the half, as Joseph Burns goes over on a crossing route, but he's going to see his fellow receiver catch one deep, and that's going to give LSU the lead. They are now up 14-10. Still with the lead, 14-10 in the 3rd quarter. Joseph Burns trying to get past the corner. He does. He gets it in stride, inbounds, and now in the end zone. Touchdown LSU, as the Tigers improve on that lead. It is a big one now, 21-10. LSU with the ball again as the defense makes a stop. Burns trying to go deep, but he's going to not have to worry about it, as a fellow receiver finds the end zone, and that's only going to make things worse for Iowa, as they are now down big, 28-13 the score late in the 3rd. As Burns tries to fight his way up the middle, he's going to find some room. He'll make the catch, and he's got enough distance to go to the house. That makes it 35 points now for LSU, as they are going to continue on, and they are going to win the Outback Bowl, as LSU defeats Iowa 35-21, a late surge for Iowa, but they cannot get past Garrison and this high-powered offense, as Garrison only really needed to throw 11 passes in the game, and he completed 8 of them. So the Outback Bowl champions. So that is how the sophomore season of Joseph Burns is going to end. He ended up getting 2,722 yards receiving for the year, and definitely crushed the previous record of 2,109. Burns also able to get 32 touchdowns. He beat the record, which was 27 touchdowns on the year, as Joseph Burns also racked up a number of things. He helped out his quarterback Garrison get a 223.4 record, as he beat Kemp of Stanford with 196.7. Garrison also ended up getting 4,400 yards on the year, which crushed the previous record, as also Garrison able to get 47 touchdown passes, completely crushing the 28. Joseph Burns getting 2,722 yards, as that is an LSU record for him, and then another LSU record for the career, which will continue to add up, 3,900 yards so far, 32 touchdowns in the season as well. So Joseph Burns looks like he's going to have national attention, as he has been doing everything he possibly can to set records that will probably not be broken. Appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. May God bless you. Take care.